Rogan Report Podcast. Check it out.
All things Joe Rogan by day. Rogan Report Podcast by night. All day. All night. Half hour to an hour-ish episodes once a week.
The Rogan Report Podcast.
Shane, here we are on the evening of your Halloween party.
So special.
Welcome to the Rogan Report, episode 10. Double digits.
Double digits.
Never thought we'd get this far.
No. I thought we'd get this far.
Yeah, okay. 10 episodes is a pretty low bar.
Hey, it's the first milestone.
Yeah. So, big week for Rogan. 6 podcasts this week.
Yeah, making up for lost time for sure.
I guess, yeah. That must be what it was. And let me see where we started. Looks like I've got Kelly Slater as the first episode this week, 1185.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's the one.
Surfing Kelly Slater. Sounds like a slurper.
Was there a video game based on that? Or am I
Kelly
just
Slater's
crazy?
Pro Surfer?
Is that it?
I think maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
That rung bells for sure.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah. I never played it much.
Yeah.
I did like Tony Hawk a whole bunch though.
Oh yeah. I remember crushing some Tony Hawk, like 1 and 2, and then after 2, I was like 3 was a little bit, but by the time 4 rolled around, I was like, okay, I'm not really into playing video games anymore. I had grown up. That was what happened.
That's what happens. You have to learn how to hold the controller different with that game. You got to get different fingers in on that.
Right, so you can hold the grind.
You're like all kinds of like
when I hold the grind button.
Yeah,
that was my tactic to winning was the special holding of the controller.
Changed the game when I figured that part out.
So Kelly Slater, professional surfer, is the youngest and the oldest to win the World Surf League men's title, which he's won in a record 11 times.
Yeah.
You ever surfed, Shane?
No
way.
I've never been in waters. You know,
you've never been in waters
that are like
that's why the smell.
No, I've never been in waters conducive to surfing.
Okay. Never been in the ocean.
A little bit in Vancouver and in Newfoundland, but it's not really surfing water.
No.
Not where I was, anyway.
Okay, well, you should.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure that there's surfers out there screaming, "What?
Yeah,
bitch, those are the best places."
Yeah, totally. You can surf in Vancouver or in and around Vancouver, at least.
Yeah.
I went once in Hawaii, and I remember I was. They had the little booth kind of on the beach, and I went over and I'm like, hey, like what's going on here? And it was $200 to like rent a surfboard and get a lesson, or it was like $40 to just rent the surfboard. And I was like, well, I skateboarded a shit ton as a kid. Like I'm pretty comfortable with my balance, a lot of extreme sports.
Sure, it translates.
So I'm like, this will be fine. I'll just rent the board.
Was there a Pauly Shore type work in there?
Yeah, I would say so.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I took the board out in the water and I went where the other kind of surfers were, paddled out there, and I definitely had no idea how to like get to the part of the wave where it would start like picking me up and get going. Yeah. And I was trying not to like get in other people's way as well and like have good etiquettes with the waves.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I'm like drifting away from the shore and yeah, pretty quickly I was about, I would say half a kilometer away from all the other surfers and far from the shore. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, this is because they would have what's called a riptide, which is like a certain area that just kind of like it pulls everything away from shore. And then other areas that it's pushing things towards the shore. Yeah. And this other like dude paddles over and he's like, hey man, like you're kind of getting in the riptide there. You're going to not want to be over here. And I was like, yeah, thanks dude. I don't really know. He's like, get a little bit more on your board and then you'll be able to paddle a little bit better to get back into shore. And I was like, okay. And so like I went and I paddled and I wasn't wearing what's called a rash guard, which is basically a shirt that you wear that prevents you from getting a rash on your arms where you're paddling. Oh yeah. And I was paddling super hard, and by the time I got into shore, I just had like this like welts on my arms. Oh no. And I was like, all right, surfing sucks. Yeah. I'm definitely never doing this again. Yeah. And
tried it. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, maybe the $200 for a lesson would have been slightly worth it.
Yeah.
But, live and learn.
Yep.
So, Kelly Slater, they talked a little bit about, he's into like MMA, and I think he trains jiu-jitsu, and is he into hunting as well? I think it came up a couple times. I don't really remember if he said he was into hunting or not.
Yeah, they touched on it.
I think he wants to get into like bow hunting. Hasn't done it.
Yeah.
So, good episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
3 out of 5 surfboards.
For sure. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5
maybe
welted arms.
2.5 out of 5.
2.5 out of 5 rash guards.
Feeling stingy.
1186, Marques Brownlee.
Yeah.
I liked that episode.
Sure.
That was maybe my favorite of the week.
Definitely more along topics I think about and, talk about more often.
Yeah. So he's also known as MKBHD. That's his YouTube handle, I guess.
Yeah.
He's best known for his technology focused videos. Did you watch any of his videos?
No, I haven't, but I've watched a couple unbox, and review type videos, but I'm not watching them a bunch.
Mm-hmm. So Rogan mentioned, he's like, yeah, the absolute best reviewer of technology in the world. I love your videos. You're the best. But he's had Lewis from Unbox on.
He's sort of backpedaling.
And then he's like, I mean, Lewis,
but also
too.
Lewis good.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, little. Do you think there was any drama over that?
Nah.
But do you think Lewis's feelings were slightly hurt?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Probably. But I don't think he's gonna make drama with Joe. He wants to be back on that show.
Yeah, of
for
course.
Sure.
And they both do a good job.
Yeah.
I've watched both of their videos, and they're both good.
Unbox Therapy, honestly, is probably maybe the only reviewing and unboxing show I've ever watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
well, go check out MKBHD.
I'm going to.
They talked a lot about just technology in general, though, and was that the one where they started getting into what if machines take over the world and sentient computers and
I think you're
AI?
thinking of Lex. Is it Fridman or
was that because he? Well, yeah,
that was that was his whole shtick. But
I think they talked about them both.
They must have.
Yeah,
but they definitely dived into iPhone versus Android.
I noticed this week Joe was a lot like, what was that? We were just talking about this. There was quite a few times where he's like, which episode we were just talking about this on?
Yeah.
And because the topics did bleed from one to the other.
I think he, like myself, maybe are letting all this info bleed a little bit this week.
Yeah.
6 is a lot in a week.
Yeah, it is a lot to take in. We've kind of committed to getting it done for the sake of you, listeners. I hope you appreciate our sacrifice.
Yeah,
and several hours of our time.
My family's sick of me. I have to wear headphones at this point.
Oh yeah,
they're done.
Yeah, I used to wear a lot of shirts with shirt pockets, and I would just throw my phone in the pocket and just play it through the speaker.
Pretty prime listening spot.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Angie, not so big a fan though, and I can't believe she's like, it's so loud, and I'm like, it's playing out of a phone speaker, so it's obviously can't be that loud.
Yeah,
but I'll be in the kitchen and she'll be in the bedroom with the door closed, and she'll still turn it fucking down, I fucking hate Rogan.
Just over it. Hey.
Oh wow, yeah. It's okay. I can say bad, mean things about her because she doesn't listen to the show either.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
She's not into the podcasting.
When you're listening, though, and you're doing stuff like dishes and moving, clinking things, that you need it loud to hear it, right?
That's true. Yeah. I can usually hear it, but yeah, if it's if the tap is on and things are loud, then I might miss a few sentences. But it's usually, you don't need to get every single sentence of a podcast to get the gist of what people are saying.
I think so. Yeah,
depending on the show.
I'm in and out
most
of
episodes,
a lot of them.
I'd say that's the case, and I kind of like that about them. It's not but then there's some episodes you're like, okay, I really have to sit down, furrow the brow, and focus, and make sure that
focus the beams of thought. Yeah.
All right, so 1186, Marques Brownlee. 1187, Kyle Kulinski, political activist, progressive talk radio host, social democratic political commentator, and the co-founder of Justice Democrats and his show Secular Talk.
So he's sort of a proponent for the populist Democrat rather than the corporate Democrat. So he's not necessarily your Hillary supporter type. He's a for the people kind of guy.
Yeah, big Bernie fan.
Yeah.
Which, I like that too.
Yeah.
I noticed this show is called Secular Talk. And when I think of secular, I always think of religion. I grew up, my dad was a pastor, and I grew up liking a lot of, it always come up, we talk about secular music, which was,
everything
not Christian
other than
music.
Christian music.
So I was surprised that because his show isn't really about religion.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in government, you want to keep religion out of the government. So is that where
I guess, yeah. From? And I mean, that's just kind of the word for
it. Makes it sound like
big
an
talk. It's non-religion. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're using it broadly. That's for sure.
I wonder how they came up with the idea to use that name.
Yeah.
Smart dude. Good talker. Enjoyable podcast.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, another political podcast.
Yeah. So obviously lots to talk about Trump and what a fool he is.
Yeah.
And Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
4 out of 5 Clintons.
You're giving him that many?
Yeah, I liked the episode. That might have been my favorite of the week. I don't know. Or Lex Fridman might have been my favorite of the week.
Lex Fridman, I was more into, and that's our next one, I believe, right?
Yeah, 1188. Yeah. Lex Fridman, research scientist at MIT, working on like human-centered artificial intelligence.
Yeah, and I liked how he was not so on the bandwagon of everything's going to change so fast, like so much of the talk today. Like he's saying, calm down, everyone.
He was saying that the next steps are so much bigger than we think they are.
Yeah.
To get to that level of artificial intelligence being like sentient and destroying the world. But he did say
I agree with him from the standpoint of what we have now and what we can do with what we have now. But at this point, I don't think we can predict what the next steps are even going to be.
No, the past has never been a good predictor for the future.
No.
That's one thing that came up on the show.
Yeah.
And when you look at the way inventors, like they talked about the Wright brothers, thinking that flight was 30 years away, and then 2 years later they were flying.
Yeah.
And they didn't see it coming. They didn't think that they were going to be able to get, it was heavier than air ground flight was impossible. That was what everyone was saying.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they were saying that when birds are obviously heavier than air, and birds obviously fly. So
yeah, that's a floppy theory. Whoever came up with that one.
I remember when I heard them say that's what people thought, and I was like, okay, well,
yeah,
sure.
No, but once you unlock one door, there comes a whole new row of doors that you didn't know were there before. Yeah. Right. So to say that it's not going to be as quick as we think, I think that's incorrect. I think that it's already happening quicker than we even think.
Yeah.
We're not getting the whole story. Whereas consumers, we're getting far down the line from where technology actually is right now.
Shane, why does it barely look like you're talking when on the lines? I'm always, I don't have a degree in audio technology.
We needed young Jamie so
audio
badly.
engineering. But sometimes
just to watch, but
that looks normal now.
Does it? Maybe I wasn't. I've been pretty much touching the whole time.
Okay. But, well, don't do that.
No,
that's
not good either.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. Yeah, I like Lex Fridman.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 robots.
Yeah, I'll even go you one more. I'll say 4.5.
4.5. So that was your absolute favorite of the week.
Angry, revenge having robots.
Okay.
4 out of 5.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie about AI?
One that's I think it doesn't get enough credit is iRobot.
I was just thinking
I
iRobot.
Loved iRobot.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Ex Machina though. Ooh.
Ex Machina is better for sure.
That's obviously maybe one of the best ones ever.
Yeah,
pretty
I was trying
incredible.
to think if there was a better one than Ex Machina.
What do you remember the 80s when it was like scary or something? Was it called Batteries Not Included?
Batteries Not Included was not scary.
No, that was flying little robot things.
Was it? No, Batteries Not Included was there was, what was his name? It was like a real friendly artificial intelligent robot.
But didn't he get dark or something at the end?
Maybe it did.
80s movies were fucked up, man. They would leave you traumatized.
I'd have to rewatch it, but I remember it being like a family movie. So
maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to research that one.
Okay.
Well, I'll come back with an answer next week.
Yeah, and of course, Terminator.
Terminator
2 better than Terminator 1. One of those few movies where I think the sequel is better than the original.
Well, they got that bigger budget, and it fucking showed in that one.
Yeah, that was like the first time that they were really using computers to like make the Terminator, the T-1000, make him turn into different things. And
geez, he was scary too, hey? Like,
yeah,
he'd chase the car and shit.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah,
give me your best Robert Patrick impression right now.
Oh fuck. Okay, hang on. No, I'm trying to even remember one line.
Oh, it'd be like, "Have you seen this boy?"
Yeah, there you go. That's him.
That's the line. Anyways, that's the most famous. I think probably his most famous line.
Yeah, is that his name? Robert? What'd you say?
Robert Patrick. That's the actor.
Wasn't it?
That wasn't the name of the T-1000. I think the T-1000 probably didn't have a
his
name.
agent Doggett in some other show. I can't remember
Is he?
What that shows. Shit.
My favorite part is like when he's playing the mom, and the kid
Oh, right.
calls
and then
in.
It backs up and his fingers like going through her head and then the milk carton too.
Through the milk carton, and then it's the dad. The dad's like, "What's with the fucking dog barking?"
Bitch, get the door.
Yeah. And Edward Furlong gives the phone to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Schwarzenegger's like, "Hey, Mom, I can hear Sparky barking. What's going on?" And she's like, "Sparky's just fine, honey. Come on, man. Where are you?" And then he hangs up. He's like, "Your foster parents are dead." And he does that. But he does like Edward Furlong's voice. That was such a cool part of the movie, I thought. Yeah. And of course, the scene, the view of her having her finger through the milk carton, and
it was hardcore, man.
It was pretty. One of the maybe was that the most gory and violent part of the movie? I think it might be.
Well, I mean, other than what happens to Arnold Schwarzenegger, which doesn't really count because he's a robot.
Yeah,
because he gets plenty fucked up in that movie.
Yeah, but not like in a disturbing way like that.
No. Oh, how the black dude when he gets shot up? That scene's pretty intense. He's all right. He's holding the fucking detonator thing.
Miles Dyson.
Miles Dyson. Yeah, that part was intense.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't, not that gory, I guess.
Gory as the finger through the carton through the
and then
eye,
T-1000 himself gets blown to holy shit a bunch of times.
Yeah, with the grenade that they shoot into him, and then he gets blown into. Yeah. His head's on one side and his arms are coming out of the other, and then he gets pushed into the melting.
When's the last time you saw that?
Maybe 10 years.
Think it holds up still?
I don't know. It holds up in my head for sure. It held up the last time I saw it.
Yeah.
And last time I saw it was quite a bit after
CGI started.
Yeah. So, but now, God, it's been a long time.
See, that movie wasn't all CGI either. It only had select moments of it. So yeah. I think that we definitely overstepped a little bit with CGI at some point. Some movies, anyway.
But getting better T2 versus Ex Machina. What is a better movie?
Oh, I mean, you can't really compare those. You got an old era action movie versus a new thinker. You know what I mean? A cerebral movie.
Right.
That movie was creepy too.
Yeah.
Ex Machina.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. What about was it AI? I think it was called. Did you see that one?
I think I did.
It's like a little kid artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's 4.5 hours long.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good movie. Maybe not the best editing. Wouldn't nominate it for the Oscar, given that it was pretty long.
Yeah.
But they just had a lot of story to tell. So.
Oh, Chappie. Did you see Chappie with Hugh Jackman in it?
No.
It's got what are those crazy they're like punk rockers. They rap. Die Antwoord.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're in it, or people that are just like them are in it.
Okay.
But that's a good movie.
Cool.
It's all New Zealand and shit, but it's post-apocalyptic with this creepy ass robot named Chappie.
Maybe I'll go check it out.
Actually, I think he's maybe the least creepy thing in the movie. All the people are pretty creepy. But I think it's Hugh Jackman in that one.
What about Child's Play?
Child's Play is a motherfucker.
With Chucky. Chucky, does Chucky
is he
count
technically
as
a robot?
Well, is a toy.
Is a possessed toy.
Yeah. Does that count as artificial?
He had mechanical parts in it.
Yeah, he was a robot.
For the 80s, he was a robot.
I don't know if it would count as artificial intelligence, though.
Nah.
It's a stretch, for sure.
Yeah. They used to have toy robots. They were, really junky, and they didn't do much, but they had, a cassette player on the front of them.
Yeah.
And, they'd roll around. You could remote control them and shit.
Right.
I think they were just called Robot.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's move on.
We went deep on robots.
We didn't talk much about Lex Fridman.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to say. I did enjoy it. I enjoy the subject matter a lot. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit, I felt the podcast was a little bit dry.
Yeah.
I was kind of
they
weren't exciting.
Often when he has real scientists on there, they're not showmen, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get the textbook info from those kind of guys.
I guess so.
Whereas where you have a Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, he's a showman.
His voice is musical.
Yeah.
All by itself. So the shows are generally entertaining even when it is pretty dry material.
That's true.
So, yeah, that's another one though to re-listen, especially if you're interested in that sort of thing.
1188. 1188.
Yeah.
Coming up on well, no, I guess not. I was going to say coming up on 2000, but still 800 and odd episodes away.
Yeah.
Coming up on 1200 though.
Yeah. I remember when it flashed over to 1,000.
Yeah, that was a big day.
Yeah,
big episode.
Yeah, is that the one with Doug Stanhope that he did?
That was the end of the world.
But
maybe it was.
I think he also did Doug Stanhope on the 1,000.
Yeah, was that right when the election was going on?
I think it was even before that. I'm thinking this is 2014.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I've been listening to this stuff a long time.
It's pretty easy to check. All I have to do is open my podcast app and go into Rogan and click available episodes. You know what's cool with Rogan is that the whole 1,000-odd episodes are all available.
Yeah, whereas
a lot of people, you just have the most recent 100. I wonder if they must have to pay iTunes extra to have that feature.
Must be, because I do believe that we're cut at 100.
Yeah. Will we get to 100? That's the big question everyone's asking themselves.
I hope so.
That's when people really will start listening, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to put in this legwork first.
Yeah. We're not legit until people want to see that you've done some episodes.
We've been pretty steady though.
That's true. We are reliable. At least once a week we've got our episode up. Maybe not always on the Wednesday, kind of as planned.
Sometimes my energy levels far more than other times.
This one might come out a little earlier than Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see.
There it is. No, it was Joey Diaz and Tom Segura.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. Holy shit. So this is way back. This is only back when Mayweather and McGregor fought, like right around that time. Because the one before that was a breakdown.
It's August 18th, 2017.
Yeah. I was way off.
Yeah.
Shit, man, he does a lot of podcasts.
Well, and he's picked up in, I would say it used to be like 3 a week was kind of the average.
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
And he's definitely picked up steam here.
Especially since I guess he started the MMA show that guarantees an extra 1 a week. And sometimes it's 2 a week.
Right. I think has he quit? What did he quit doing? Nothing yet, right?
No. He definitely cut back on the UFC. Like he only stays in the continental North America.
So maybe that's the factor too, that he's not doing as much of the UFC, so he has more time.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just released a stand-up, but I don't think that means he's slowing down. I think that's ramping up because he's trying new stuff every week.
Yeah, he says he's got a half hour right now of new material.
Yeah. I wonder what it is. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. I don't know. As much as I do enjoy Joe's stand-up, if I'd never heard, I'm curious what it would be like if I had never listened to any of the podcasts and I just watched his stand-up, if it would be like way more like mind-blowing to me and be like, oh my God, this guy fucking gets it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I don't know. I think
Maybe
what he
not.
does best is host a podcast. I think that's his biggest skill.
Yeah.
And he's a great UFC commentator. And he is a great stand-up, but
maybe you wouldn't find it as funny if you weren't in on all the inside jokes.
Maybe not. I think I would find it more funny, though. Typically with comedy, once you've heard the joke, it's like the next time it's not as funny.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
Although...
So you're saying you think you'd like him even better?
I think I would like his stand-up more if I had never listened to any of his podcasts. That's my guess. Because I am super interested in all the topics he talks about.
Yeah.
But, I feel like I've heard all the jokes.
Dude, the live show was like... There was an energy to it. It was really good.
Live stand-up is always a lot better than watching a special on TV.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. We got a like from a very famous person.
Yeah, you sent me a
Shout
message
out to
about
Kate
it.
Quigley.
Shout out to Kate Quigley.
Who I've heard on the Joey Diaz podcast plenty of times. Church of What's Happening Now.
Okay.
Yeah, he supports her and has for quite a while.
She's coming to Edmonton soon. Maybe
she's here now.
Is it like this?
She's been like the last few days.
Oh shit!
I wish I wasn't so freaking busy.
Go.
I would have went, but yeah. I started my new job this week, so I've been really busy.
Yeah, congrats on that. How's it going?
Good. It's different from anything I've ever done, but it's interesting. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Where are we at here?
I don't know. I think it's just the MMA. No, it's Alex Honnold next.
Alex Honnold, the free climber.
1189. I remember when he first came on, and that's when I first kind of learned about free climbing. And I was like, holy shit, to climb an entire mountain with no ropes at all. It just seems like you have a death wish.
Yeah.
Right?
Seems like you don't give a fuck if you're alive or not really.
But that's not the case.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, geez. Such a risk.
For me, though, I'm like, especially for me, I'm so afraid of heights.
Yeah.
Even the thought of that is like, obviously, it's a death wish, right?
Yeah.
And would be for me.
And you said you've never done any climbing?
Nah, not like that. Like in Drumheller.
Okay.
And we climbed around a little bit
Sure.
in Banff and stuff, but not really.
More like that's they call scrambles.
Or I mean trail walking.
Well, okay, trail walking is not
maybe
a
even we'll just call it trail walking.
Okay. Yeah, I've done a few scrambles, which is climbing but without ropes, and it's not like vertical.
Okay.
But you do have to like use your hands to get up some of the rocks, and
so I guess I've done that. Yeah, but nothing that I was never really in danger.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of gym climbing with ropes, and then a little bit of bouldering without, which is fun.
That's hard, eh?
Yeah,
climbing up a rope.
No. What? No.
No.
You don't climb the rope.
Oh, you're talking about like rappelling type of thing.
No, it's climbing, but you have a rope that in case you fall, the rope catches you.
Gotcha.
But you use all of your own
like
momentum, and you pull and push yourself up the wall. It's just like climbing outside.
Yeah. I know what you mean now.
Okay.
I was picturing gym class with a rope hanging from like a thing in the middle of the gym.
No. I was talking about climbing gyms where they have climbing walls, and then they have ropes that they use so that you don't fall 20 feet and hurt yourself.
I'm catching up here.
Okay. Welcome to the club. And Alex was saying he does a lot of that. Like most of the climbing he does is actually with ropes, and it is fairly safe when you are climbing that way and using all the proper equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's safe until all of a sudden you die.
To be the first guy, like he was describing, the guy, what did he say? The first ascender?
Yeah.
That goes up and puts those first pegs in the wall?
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy with the real nuts. Like, that shit's crazy.
Well,
don't you feel?
He's still roped in.
No, but the guy that's putting the pegs up there, like before it's even been climbed. Well, I guess he's roped in from the thing behind him.
Yeah, so he falls. You fall twice as far as your last piece of safety equipment that you place.
Fuck, that would suck anyway, though. Hey.
Yeah. It's still pretty jarring. It's not
probably
like
end your climbing day.
It's not like a bungee. Well, no. It doesn't end your climbing day.
Oh man, I'd end my climbing day.
It might end your climbing day. But yeah, it's not. The thing is also the ropes are designed to have some gives, so that there's what's called dynamic ropes that have flex to them, and then static ropes and the static ropes have no give at all, and they're a lot more jarring if you were to fall on them. They use them more for like rappelling and like search and rescue and whatnot. But the dynamic ropes, they have some give, so when you fall, the rope stretches. But even the dynamic ropes, when you fall on them, they're still pretty jarring.
They bungee out and then they stop.
Yeah, it's not like a bungee cord or like people think of bungee jumping where it's like boing and you're back up. Yeah, it's not like that at all. It still is pretty jarring. And I think probably the bigger thing with ropes is the risk of, like Alex was saying, landing on something, some little ledge, or hitting your head on something as you go down.
Yeah.
That's
blow out your legs or whatever.
Yeah, break your ankles,
smash your head in. Obviously, is the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's kind of a fascinating sport, and those guys do get in incredibly good shape.
I could see that. I mean, I could see the adrenaline and all that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's weird because it's like a slow adrenaline.
I get that from other things like driving fast in a car and stuff like that. I'm not afraid of things like that, so I can understand the whole adrenaline thing. But
sure,
yeah. When it gets to heights, I'm just like, I shut down.
Yeah.
My knees go quaky.
I loved heights. Like I was big into freestyle skiing and lots of different extreme sports, mountain biking, trials biking, and BMX and skateboarding.
Yeah.
And so a lot of heights from those things. But even, I still would get like some vertigo sometimes, and I'd go off a big jump and I'd be 40 feet up in the air above the ground, and when I'd look down, it would get that little like dizzying kind of like weird feeling in my nuts.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
fuck.
Yeah,
now we're going down.
Yeah, but I loved it, man. There's such a, like when you go off of a jump. Hey, my alarm went off.
Yes.
One win for Shane. I was watering plants today, and trying to give all my trees and all my plants a good healthy drink of water here before it gets cold again, because apparently that is good for them.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom is coaching me on how to not make my plants die.
I'd take her word for it.
Yeah, so I was setting, because what I have done in the past sometimes is I'll put the water on and then totally forget about it, and then come like the next day and be like, oh fuck, the fucking water's still on, and that you run the risk of flooding your house and all kinds of bad things. So
bad news bears.
I use the timer to keep me from forgetting.
Oh.
And then it went off when I was driving over here, and I thought I hit stop, but I must have hit repeat or reset.
Hit me again in an hour.
Yeah. So that's what happened, Shane. You fucking dick.
Well, I've been waiting for my opportunity, and there it was.
Make me feel like an asshole. Embarrass me on the podcast. You know what? Though, because I young Jamie this show, I could just edit that whole thing out. And
you could do, yeah. You could get really fun with the editing and have me sounding really weird.
Yeah.
Cut out of context everything I say.
No, I won't do that. I'll leave all this in, listeners. My goal is to really not edit the show. Other than I go through and I trim some we get loud and some of the volumes peak and clip, then I'll kind of fix that. But I want to leave the content in for the most part, unless we're talking and I think somebody, if we have mentioned some names and I think that person wouldn't want to have their names mentioned, I'll edit that out. But other than that, I want to leave it as unedited as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I don't think I say anything I don't stand behind
Good.
or I wouldn't joke about in public. So
you shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's how you should just that's a good way to live your life, Yeah. Try to be as honest and as genuine as you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah, even if you bump into a different opinion, that's a good thing. That's people exchanging ideas and discourse. It's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, 1189, Alex Honnold. Good show.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
3.5 out of 5 climbing ropes.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
3.25, maybe.
Okay. Splitting hairs here.
Being miserly here today.
MMA 47, Tyson Fury.
Yeah. This is a guy we've been hearing about from Joe Rogan for quite a long time.
Yeah. I liked, he's got a great tone. I mean, British accents are always fun. And then he's got kind of a draw like, I'll fucking kick your ass, you fucking bastard.
Well, he's a gypsy, man.
Is he a gypsy?
Just like Snatch, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like legit gypsy.
So is Snatch based on
they call themselves travelers, by the way.
Okay.
That's probably
that is pretty racist.
a bad word. I can't say
I
gypsy.
Understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not one.
No.
I
am actually, but I move quite a bit.
Watching those like fight videos of travelers wanting to fight other traveler families.
Yeah.
On the YouTube, all the YouTube. All on the YouTube.
Where the kids watch those videos.
Those kids in the fight videos. But no, the ones where they're like, "Oh, I'll fucking kick your ass so fucking hard. You come over here." And so funny. There's some really, really good ones.
I saw one where they were being like politically correct to each other. I don't know if you saw that one. I was like, did you know that my mate here has got a stuttering problem and you're making fun of how he talks? I didn't know he had a stuttering problem and I'm sorry for that. And say, here's a bowl of soup for you, mate. You got to see it. It goes on and on. I'm sure some people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I will search it out.
It's legit funny.
What was I going to look up?
I don't know. Travelers.
No, what to call travelers?
Yeah.
Politically correct names. No, it wasn't that. Something to do with Tyson Fury, but I don't know. I opened up my Safari and I was like, ready to search something.
I come by it innocently. My only knowledge of Travelers is the movie Snatch.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah,
definitely one of my. And Guy
Ritchie.
Yeah. Guy Fieri. Guy Ritchie been a guest on Rogan, Rogan guest.
Right before that terrible fucking King Arthur movie came out.
Was that his?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
It was a stylized, modernized, but still in the past.
Yeah.
That kind of shit doesn't get me, man.
No?
No, I like my historical stuff to actually be historical.
I bet I would like it. I doubt that there's a Guy Ritchie movie out there that I wouldn't like.
Sometimes you
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Lock, Stock is the best.
Yeah.
I think. Snatch, very, very, very close second.
Yeah.
And then everything else.
I mean, you learn about the best way to get rid of a body in Snatch.
Yeah.
First time I ever heard that. You feed them to the pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite all-time movies.
All right. So Tyson Fury, undefeated British heavyweight boxer. And on December 1st, he's going to be fighting the current undefeated champion, Deontay Wilder. Yeah. That's what it is, right?
Did you see video of him knocking that fucking mascot out?
No.
It was on some Spanish ESPN show. And they're like, yeah, give him a punch. And I think they had him patted up in the gut for a gut punch. And he fucking wound up and 100% strength fucking punched this dude mascot in the face, shattered his jaw. You should see the picture of him online. His jaw is twice the size of his face.
Okay, I've just YouTubed Deontay Wilder mascot.
Yeah, dude, it's worth a watch. It's so funny.
Poor guy.
Look how upset the female reporter is.
Yeah, he's doing the funky chicken on his legs.
He claims he didn't know that was a real person in there. That was his reasoning for punching it in the face.
I would have thought he just thought that the whole thing was padded up. Like, I can't really blame him too much because it looks like the dude's in a costume head to toe, and it looks padded all the way to the top to me.
You assume that he has some protection if you're going to tell a boxer to punch him.
Yeah, but the host was like, hey, look, right here, punch him right here, and he was like tapping him on the stomach.
Like, nah, bitch.
Yeah, like that's not how we roll.
Dude.
Okay, so now I need to Google search mascot after Deontay.
Dude, his face is buggered. I think I saw it afterwards on Instagram.
Deontay punch. All right. Yeah, let's see some before and after pictures.
It's pretty good.
Images.
Like it shattered the dude's jaw.
Oh, I'm seeing lots of pictures of the actual event. I'm not seeing any of the guy in the. I mean, it's hard to know because what was the guy?
Let's see.
That doesn't. All these other pictures that don't have that look like boxing pictures. This is making for good podcasting.
Yeah, let's both look up some stuff while the air sits.
No, I've looked through about 50 pictures and nothing that I can really tell.
Well, that's anticlimactic.
I will try to find it. Or listeners, maybe you can tweet that to us and send us a clip if you know where that is.
I believe I saw it in the great maze that is Instagram, so finding it there would be impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not. Do you ever try to remember? You're you see something cool and you're like, oh sweet, I'm gonna remember who it was that shared that.
Fuck all the time.
And you're like, I gotta remember that was my friend, Johnny or whatever that shared that. And then so I can tell my girlfriend later. And then I go back and I'm like, who was it that shared that thing? No idea.
It's gone.
And it's gone forever.
And thanks to the no chronological orderness of Facebook and Instagram now, it is literally gone.
Yeah.
Lost in the maze.
That is stupid that it's not in the I want it all to just be the absolute most recent things.
Yeah. I don't care how many people are liking things.
Yeah.
Because that's what's actually changing the order now.
Yeah. Don't edit out my friends' posts. This sometimes I'll not see something with someone for 3 years, and then I'll see a post pop up kind of randomly, and then I'll go click on their profile, and it's not like they stopped posting. They have 3 years full of posts that I didn't see.
Well, the thing is, since Instagram, Facebook sort of made it like Instagram with following. Right. So even though you're friends with someone, that doesn't mean they're seeing anything you do. You have to be followed by them.
They have to opt in to following?
Yeah.
They're not just automatically following?
So you might be just showing things to the 10 people constantly.
That's weird because I feel like I didn't opt in to following
anyone. They just changed it. Facebook's stupid, honestly.
Yeah, but I'm an old man.
I'm not getting rid of it.
It's that's really my only social media.
I don't have any phone numbers for any of the people I have on Facebook. So if I drop Facebook, I don't have a lot of contacts that maybe I don't need anyway, but
I guess
there they are. And yeah, I have them if I have Facebook.
Okay.
So he talked a little bit about his depression and how he's fought through it.
Near suicide.
And he gained a lot of weight. He was over 400 pounds.
He is 6'7", but still, that's a fat boy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And he's looking good now.
I was trying to think what would that be relative to because I'm 6, maybe 6'1", just over 6 feet, not quite 6'1".
Were you before? Has the shrinking started for you?
No, I'm still 6 feet.
I've lost a full inch from when I was 18.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to be 5'11" and a half, and now I'm 5'10" and a half.
I thought because of when I broke my back that I would lose some height there because compressed discs and whatnot, but still over 6 feet.
Well, that's good.
I wonder when I will start shrinking.
I think it happens. The nose keeps growing and the ears keep growing and the body starts shrinking. It's not a real shrink. It's more of a gravity, your joints sinking together,
But suicide and mental health, and he, as I've heard on a lot of Rogans, and I don't know if it's great minds think alike or birds of a feather flocking together, but he, instead of beating his depression with like pills, what he did is he like set goals and then achieved those goals and hard work. And once he got in the routine of setting the goal and he'd reach that goal, he'd get a little bit happier, a little bit less depressed, and then he'd set a new goal and then he'd get to that goal, and just through hard work. And he also said that just by draining all of his energy in the gym, and that he wouldn't have the energy to think about the bad things that he was thinking about
and
before.
Basically feeding off his successes of his goals accomplished.
Yeah. And man, it does seem like that's a pretty, like, I know that there are people that are chemically imbalanced and do need help from pills, and people can take pills and then get off pills, like Ari, and as Joe's talked about with his friends that have benefited from chemical SSRIs or whatever. But
it always just scares me though, the having to get off it. Like,
yeah, it does seem like it's a lot better idea to just at least try beating it with like getting good sleep, having a healthy diet, getting good exercise. Those three like key things. Try those things, make those a priority, and if that works, then you don't have to take things that have all these other terrible side effects.
Yeah, like give it a shot.
That should be the go-to. Start with those three things. If you go through those three things and you're still like have a depression problem, I mean, I guess I'm not a doctor, and maybe if you're close to the point of like killing yourself, you should probably take care of that first with some
100%.
pills.
And counseling.
You might not have the time. Yeah, counseling.
Often that's
a big factor
the biggest thing. Like getting the things off your mind. And again, I'm not a doctor either, but I feel like if you look after some of the things that are not perfect in your life.
Yeah. I wonder, you know what? I sometimes wonder if I've ever been depressed. Have I struggled with depression? I know my dad did struggle with depression, and like I've certainly had times where I've been sad. But I don't know if that counts. And like, suicide, for example, too. Like I've thought about it, to the point, not to the point of doing it, but like it'll pop into my head. Like when I'm up on a tall building, I'll be like, how easy it would be to just like step over this ledge and be gone from existence.
Me too.
And like,
I think that's natural probably for most people.
Yeah. But I'm not thinking like seriously considering doing it, but like, or when I'm driving, I'm like, I could just swerve and I would be off the road and into a pole, and like just one quick decision, a second decision that takes 1 second, and it could be completely gone forever, and change the lives of everyone in my circles.
Yeah. I think if anything, I've mostly thought about it from an intellectual standpoint, like what happens.
Yeah.
Like from a more of a curiosity standpoint. Exactly.
Sure. Yeah, me too. But I do find that there is a small urge. Like when I think about it, I'm like, there is a small urge to just do it.
Exists, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I'm like, but of course I don't want to make all my family, I don't want to put people through it. That's one of the big things. And I do love a lot of things in this world that I would miss like crazy if I was still existing beyond death.
So for me, I think that urge has always been like, the only reason the urge has ever even been there is because it seems like such an easy way out. And what if things are so good?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's heaven?
True.
I mean, you could skip all this bullshit that you're unhappy with.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you're never thinking about offing yourself when everything's going well.
Yeah.
Right. It's usually when everything isn't.
Right.
I mean, for me anyway.
Sure.
For a person without any deep depression.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get sad. I think everyone gets sad, and a lot of people are quick to put a depression label on that.
Yeah. But is that, it's because it's not, there's different levels of depression, obviously. That's the big thing. And sometimes it's partially caused by your brain not creating enough like serotonin, and there's biological reasons for depression, but also like there's environmental reasons, like your girlfriend cheating on you with your best friend and then breaking up with you.
Situational
and you lose
things.
both those people. So, and obviously they can like I think alcohol is probably a big factor too.
Mm-hmm.
And people like trying to use drugs to like help themselves feel better or not feel things, and then it becomes it might be helping at a small amount, but then the more you do it and the more addiction comes into play, then the more it hurts you.
Yeah. I mean, for me, in my instinct, I feel like it's a Band-Aid or a mask more than it's a solution or a cure, you know?
Well,
maybe again, I'm not a doctor and I don't understand the brain of a person that needs, these SSRIs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the idea that some doctors are benefiting from this, like pharmaceuticals, and, they're making all this money from it.
Yeah.
From pushing these things on us.
That's tough too, for sure.
Like there's definitely darkness.
Yeah. And it makes you not trust, Yeah. Yeah. It's such a complex.
But it's hard because I actually have people in my life that are on some different things and they think they need it and it has helped them. Like things have petered out and become normal for them because of being on it.
But then are they working to getting off of it at some point?
I mean, I don't think so. I think
no,
generally
just planning to just be on it for the rest of their lives.
The doctors keep saying, "Are you on the pills?" And here's more pills. I'm uncomfortable with that.
Yeah,
kind of just instinctively doesn't seem right. Yeah.
Well, heavy way to end the show here.
But he's better.
Now we'll go party and have a great time with all of your Halloween party guests.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
We may be the only people here.
No, I do think I heard a couple people come in.
Yeah. But yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. We're 10 episodes in. Gonna keep doing it.
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Really do appreciate it. And please get at us. Give us. We'd love to have some suggestions from you and have get feedback. Criticisms. Even if there's things you don't like that we do, if you don't like how much I say and all the time, you can let us know that. If you think my face is stupid, you can let us know that. Just get back at us. Or if you're loving the show, we'd love to hear that too.
Oh yeah.
If you think that this is exactly, I hope that this is helping you and inspiring you to want to go listen to more episodes of Joe Rogan. We certainly love that show, and that's what inspired you. It's the love of that show that inspired this show, and we will keep talking about Rogan's episodes, but I think we'll branch out more into talking about some of the stuff in our lives and our pasts. Hopefully that's the direction you want us to go in. You don't just want us to just recap periodically all the episodes. I don't know.
That I feel like that all by itself may get dry after a while.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And
at least dry for us doing it.
I've got enough things happening usually in my life I can share, and I can definitely relate with a lot of what gets talked about on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, me too.
And I definitely have opinions at the very least.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Right on. Take care.
Joe Rogan's unique perspective is teaching us all how to best live, and we will attempt to recap all of his weekly podcasts. Now show your support and download the Rogan Report. The Rogan